Yeah, I call it vernacular homicide. Good morning, I'm Rock 107's Prospector. Regions have their own dialects, and here in Northeast PA, oh yeah, we got ours. And a bunch of words we use that don't make sense anywhere else. I want to know what words need to go into the Northeast PA dictionary. That's what we're talking about this morning. And Eric checking in on Facebook.com/Angry Prospector says ink pen. It's just a pen. We know it uses ink. Ink pen is very NEPA. Absolutely. On to the Rock Lines, Rock 107. What words need to go into the NEPA dictionary?
Yeah, I think 2-3 should be in the dictionary.
Rock 107.
Yeah, how about corpse house?
Perfect example. Who else calls it that, right?
Yes, sir. North Scranton finest.
Cindy says hot dog, and of course she means hot dog. That's definitely a good one we got on social media. Got one texted in on the Rock Lines. Alyssa says tray of pizza. I remember when I briefly lived in Delaware and I asked for a tray of pizza, the guy looked at me like I had 8 heads. Justin, if use, like use, isn't in the dictionary, the whole thing's invalid. Use, as in use guys, whatever. On to the Rock Lines, Rock 107. What goes into the NEPA dictionary?
Yeah, when they say you're going to go take a bat instead of a bath.
So you're taking a bat?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a game later? No, I'm washing up. I got you. All right, brother. Who's that?
Tony.
Rock 107, what words are you putting into the Northeast PA's dictionary?
I have Hiya, Hiya. Hiya, how you doing? I went to a boarding school, and I had a bunch of kids that were from not the area. They said, what is a ya?
Nobody knows a ya, I guess. Lacey says sandwich should be in the NEPA dictionary, and Ryan, outin'. As in, I'm going to out in that light. My wife from New Jersey thinks we're making that up. No, I've heard many people say outin'. On to the Rock Lines. What goes in the NEPA dictionary, Rock 107?
I think you should put juke or jukey into that dictionary.
Now, you got to use it in a sentence because I'm not sure if I know what it is.
I have some real jukes that live next door.
So it's another way of saying jerk or yam bag or something. Is that it?
Exactly.
We're putting together the Northeast PA dictionary. What are the words that got to be in there, Rock 107?
Hey, Prospector, I got one for you, which you might have already gotten it, but Hana.
You know what? I'm not even sure if we got a Hana. We're going to count your Hana, and that really should have been the first one, don't you think?
It should be.
I find it hard to believe it took that long. John says yam bag needs to go into the NEPA dictionary. Thank you, John. I feel good about that. And Michael, pank. Instead of pack, as in packed down, you pank it down. There's your NEPA dictionary from Rock 107.
There's plenty of bad news, but it's not all bad. It's time for the brighter side of Prospector on Rock 107.
A cow in Germany escaped while being transported to a slaughterhouse, then joined a flock of sheep and won its freedom. It was actually missing for 10 weeks, and it made headlines throughout Germany when it was found with a flock of 200 sheep. Now it will get to live out the rest of its life at an animal sanctuary.
Thanks. We needed that. The brighter side of Prospector on Rock 107.
Most Christmas music is terrible, right? Good morning, I'm Rock 107's Prospector. I mean, other than Queen, the Kinks, the Waitresses, Billy Squier, most Christmas music's terrible. But I think I found the worst Christmas song ever. And it's kind of, in its own way, amazing. It's a real Christmas song, and it went viral on TikTok. It's from 1975, and it's by Linda Bennett, and it's called An Old-Fashioned Christmas, Daddy's Home, in parentheses. And it's quite the roller coaster of emotions for the holidays. I mean, it's so bad, it's hysterical. But I'm going to break it into 3 parts so that you can get the full emotional impact of this song. Here is part 1, and listen for the switch at the end.
'Cause the bus takes each night is always right on time. It's gonna be a very Merry Christmas.
We're sorry to interrupt this program, but a bulletin has just been handed me. There's been a serious accident involving the number 5 bus out of New Haven. The only information we have is that the bus skidded on a patch of ice and slammed into a tree. Stay tuned to this station for further details.
I mean, such a 1970s thing there to interrupt the song and change the tone and make it sound so official and stuff. Although I'm not sure the clown horn sounds beep, beep, beep are the best way to interrupt a song if you're running a radio station. Plus, I'm also not sure a bus crash warrants interrupting a song. But, you know, what do I know? But that's like such the thing in the 70s. Let's go. We're going to make it faux serious and really tug at your heartstrings. And it gets better from there.
Mommy, isn't that the bus Daddy rides each night? children, everything's alright. It's gonna be a very Merry Christmas.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've just been handed the latest report involving bus number 5 out of New Haven. And from all indications, we're sorry to report that there were no survivors.
All right, so it's getting worse. There's no doubt about that. I don't know why, but this reminds me of that Cheese Fest, Run, Joey, Run. Remember that song? Daddy, please don't. It wasn't his fault. That whole insert tragedy into a song for like an emotional blackmail thing. So, of course, now we got to see how it turned out.
Oh my God, this just can't happen. What am I to do? What have I got left in life to look forward to? Who will walk me down the aisle on my wedding day? Who is gonna buy me toys and take me out to play? Daddy! Daddy!
Merry Christmas, everybody. I know it's late, and I missed my bus. Well, don't just stand there. Help me with these presents.
It's gonna be a real old-fashioned Christmas for my children, their daddy, and me.
Oh, my God.
Merry Christmas, Daddy.
I'm just so glad it worked out. What an emotional roller coaster that was. You know, the kids going through all the selfish things. Who's going to walk me down the aisle? Who's going to buy me presents? Yeah, don't worry if Daddy's dead. Just worry if you're getting your Christmas gifts. But the thing that bugs me to no end there is, why does Daddy ring the doorbell to his own house? What's that all about? Come on, man, that's never going to happen. And so instead of adding the doorbell sound effect and then the door opening, you just get rid of the doorbell sound effect and have the sound effect of the door opening and the kids go, Daddy's home. That'd be more believable in the song. You know, the trite, horribly manipulative, emotional roller coaster Christmas song we've been listening to. Good morning. It's Prospector Show on Rock 107, and I think it's important for us all to understand each other a little bit better. We'll take steps towards doing that by spending a little time in each other's heads, and we'll start with the ladies.
And it's time for another episode of 1 Minute Inside a Woman's Head.
All right. Halloween was, what, last week? 2 weeks ago? Hey, it's in the past, so technically I could start putting up the Christmas stuff. But then I'd be that person, the November Christmas person. The neighbors will judge me for that. But oh, come on, people judge everyone for everything these days. And all the good stuff at the store goes so fast, so by waiting, I'm actually putting myself at risk here. Sure, I could wait until after Thanksgiving, but that's what everyone does. Respect the turkey, they say. What does that even mean? It's a bird with a death sentence. It's all for the vibes. And vibes are practically a mental health strategy at this point, right? All right, so maybe I'll just put up a few things, like a sneak preview. Not technically decorating, just pre-decorating. Yes, that's a thing. Just one garland. Okay, 2. Who am I kidding? The tree's going up tonight.
And that was another episode of 1 Minute Inside a Woman's Head.
Good morning. It's Prospector Show on Rock 107. And just before the commercials, we spent a minute in a woman's head. Well, now it's time for the man's head, but a man's attention span is so much shorter.
And now it's time for another episode of A Few Seconds Inside a Man's Head.
So Janet's putting her Christmas decorations up already. It's too early, Janet. What about Thanksgiving? But hey, you know, I do like the look of those drumsticks. Yeah, Mama, give Daddy a taste.
And that was another episode of A Few Seconds Inside a Man's Head.
The following rant may cause you to pull your hair out, scream at the radio, punch the dashboard. Complaints should be addressed to loudmouthyambag at rock107.com.
Hey, I'm Rock 107's Prospector, and here's what's got me jacked. Many of us still have jobs. Yeah, I know, right? Even if you're lucky like me to have a job you absolutely love, there are sure to be things that bug you, get under your skin, and grind your gears. For me, the thing that always gets me aggravated, corporate buzzwords, phrases, and slang. Yeah, it makes my blood boil. So here's a list, a new list, but not a complete list, of business crap I never want to hear again. Boil the ocean, herding cats, synergy, or move the needle. Unless I'm moving a needle full of poison into your arm, I don't want to hear you use that phrase. Or granular. What are we making, sugar? Onboarding. Hey, this ain't a boat. Or circle back. It's a circle. It goes back and forth and left and right and all around. More corporate vernacular we all have to put up with that I'm sick of. Deliverable, leverage, data mining, and pain point. My pain point was the second you opened your idiotic corporate speak spew hole. We need a paradigm shift to see what's scalable so we can come up with an exit strategy in case there's no buy-in. Hey, but first we need to take a deep dive and look at the metrics, find the action items. Then we can make sure we are change agents and become more customer-centric. Because after all, we got to see some ROI on our KPIs, be it B2B or B2C, so we all know our SWOTs before our IPO. It's all about the ecosystem, organic growth, and the elevator pitch. Give me your elevator pitch, man. Hey, sure, how about we go to the top floor and I pitch you off the building? I'm Prospector. I'm for the people. Who's with me? I gotta go crazy, man.
Ever see the crazy guy screaming at the wall outside the Times building?
Where does this rage come from, my son?
Tweet us with hashtag I found Prospector and we'll come and get him. Prospector, mornings on Rock 107. Ladies and gentlemen, grab the kids, call your neighbors, and gather round the radio.
It's now time to announce the winner of Prospector's Yam Bag of the Week, as decided by you at rock107.com.
We uncover the most baffling, ridiculous, pathetic, cockeyed, laughable, preposterous blunders in the world of misdeeds. Nominee number 1.
We've all been in a situation where we really needed to use the restroom, but someone else is really taking their time in there. In public, it's even more frustrating because there's really not much you can do other than knock if you're brave or maybe threaten them. A man in Florida named Alfredo Brindis stormed into the restroom at a Publix grocery store, saw someone using the stall, and began to bang on the stall door, demanding he come out. The guy did come out, but he wasn't doing it fast enough, and Alfredo was not messing around. He pulled a knife and waved it at him aggressively. The victim ran out, flagged down a cop. The officer confronted Alfredo, who admitted that he really needed to use the restroom, and the victim did not move out of his way, so he took out a knife. No one was hurt, but Alfredo was charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
Nominee number 2.
In a breakfast-themed blunder that's anything but sweet, a man named Pancake flipped out on his father. Eric Thomas Pancake, who's living with his parents in Palm City, Florida, got into a heated argument with his 72-year-old dad, and things escalated quickly when Pancake allegedly struck his father repeatedly on the face and body, leaving the elderly man with severe bruising and swelling around the eyes. Police arrived to find the younger Pancake appearing intoxicated and uncooperative at first, though he eventually surrendered without further incident. The victim's account matched the visible injuries, and the son was charged with felony battery on a person over 65. No word on what sparked the dispute, but it serves as a reminder that family tensions can boil over unexpectedly.
Nominee number 3.
Some people don't know which came first, the chicken or the egg. Others have very strong beliefs about chickens and eggs and may be willing to go to prison over it. A 44-year-old man in Florida named Peter Riera opened fire on 3 people outside a bar after closing time last week. It sounds like all of them had been drinking, and an argument broke out outside at the end of the night. Peter raises chickens, and the group was apparently arguing about how many eggs chickens can lay. Peter freaked and pulled a gun and started firing. The 3 victims ran off, and thankfully nobody got shot. One of the victims ran into the road to get away, but he wasn't hurt either. Peter's facing multiple charges and is being held without bond. 2 of the 3 victims were arrested for resisting an officer. For what it's worth, Peter claims the 3 men were trying to con him, but police haven't said if there's anything to back that up. They did say Peter seemed paranoid, though.
Nominee number 4.
It's hard to imagine what's going through most people's heads when they're speeding at over 100 miles per hour, but We actually do know what was going on with this person's head. Pizza. A 21-year-old woman in Florida named Yasmin Arazo was caught super speeding at 107 miles per hour last Thursday. The posted limit was 55 when the officer asked why she was driving so fast. She said she was desperately trying to make it to Little Caesars before they closed at midnight. She's facing a charge of dangerous and excessive speeding under a new Florida law that went into effect on July 1st. Penalties for a first offense include up to 30 days in jail, a fine of up to $500, or both.
And the winner is
the woman who drove 107 miles per hour because Little Caesars was closing. You are the Yam Bag of the Week. Keep it here for all the nominees for Prospector's Yam Bag of the Day, weekday mornings on Rock 107. Thanks for listening to Prospector's Prime Cuts podcast. Be sure to catch us live weekdays from 5:30 to 10 a.m. on Rock 107 or online at rock107.com or the Rock 107 app, a free download for your Android or iPhone. Subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, or wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss Prospector's Prime Cuts.